Here's another great topic, and I think it's probably one that's fairly relevant. We've touched on this a little bit before, but it keeps coming back up, so we're going to keep discussing it. What is a pocket listing, and how does it impact my home search?
Yeah, so a pocket listing is essentially a property that's not on the physical market. So we have MLS, which is kind of like our main search platform. That's where like all of our properties essentially go on. Pocket listings are a property that's not ready to go on the full market. And the reason why we don't do it is because it accumulates days on market, which can affect like the total outcome for it.
Sure.
So if it's somebody who's like, hey, I need to paint, I need to get ready for like showings, or hey, we're not ready to come on the market just yet, it's a way for us to really market the property passively and let people still come in. It's still an opportunity, but it's not on the market.
So who can find a pocket listing then?
So pretty much agents are the ones that typically get the access to the pocket listings.
So we have the keys to the castle.
We have the keys to the castle. There are a couple ways that we kind of handle them. One is Top Agent Network.
Okay.
So Top Agent Network is like the top 10% of real estate brokers out there. It's like an online platform that we kind of all collaborate. So we're sharing different properties that we're about to list. And then we also have search criteria for our buyers. So we like set up that search for them.
So if somebody's listing, somebody can connect you.
Yeah, exactly. So it immediately notifies us if something matches what we're kind of looking for, which is really great. Working at App Properties, we have the App Properties app. So that's always a really good way for us to have access to
I think
those.
we have almost 5,000 agents now in the Chicagoland area. So that's getting a lot of information out to a lot of people.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people actually, because it's inner office, will typically put it on there a little bit before even putting it on Top Agent Network and some of those. So just gives us a little bit more of a edge, just like by a couple of days.
Sneak
typically.
peek.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, I feel like the app is very like, we're literally in the planning phase,
right?
Versus, hey, we're going to come on the market next week.
Yep.
The other thing is Zenlist, which is our search platform that we typically use.
Yep.
They have access to Private Listing Network, which is another opportunity. So there are a lot of different ways that we can kind of like release inventory in a low inventory market, which is
totally great. Well, in Zenlist, that's a great thing to bring up. I mean, we have the ability to, and the reason we like using it so much is we have the ability to connect our buyers to those pocket listings. Yes, we can connect them to everything else, but we can literally get those pocket listings to them in real time as they're coming up, hopefully giving not only us the edge, but giving our clients the edge as well in those aspects. Now, it's also interesting, we have the ability to use these pocket listings. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about how pocket listings work with the buyers, like in this question here, but we're also able to use these pocket listings with our sellers.
How does it help them?
There's a lot of, it really depends on where we're at in the market, right?
Yep.
What's going on in the market will 100% get behind the actual plan and strategy that we're going to get put into place. So for example, what we did in Q4 is most likely not what we're doing here today. So we can do it different things. So for example, there can be an element in which, take a listing like this. This is a unicorn listing in the sense that there's nothing else like it. So when it comes to pricing, it's a little bit more difficult to price something like this. And you're kind of trying to go a little bit farther. Now we could put something like this into the private listing network without really kind of relinquishing our grand opening, our big impact on the market, and try and get a little bit of feedback from other agents so that we can kind of understand where our pricing is.
So essentially testing the market.
Testing the market. If it's a slower time of year, we did this a lot in Q4 where we knew that the market was a little bit more sluggish and we had clients that were really, really spring market sellers, but they said, hey, you know what, if you want to have a toe in the water, if somebody's in a position to do something, we might put it in there for there. Now, a lot of our clients, what we use it for is a little bit more of a teaser, a little bit more of like a sneak peek.
Yes.
So a lot of times we put it on there just for a short amount of time, just to get in front of the people that are really like on the edge of their seats looking for more inventory, but kind of use it as a, hey, this is coming soon. We're going to get you in real quick, but we might need to push back. You can't get in today.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways we use it. As I like to tell all of our sellers, we have an arsenal full of marketing tools and ways to use things like this in that. It's really going to depend on in real time what's happening on how we're going to put that plan together.
Yeah.
So pocket listings, beneficial to the sellers and to the buyers. It's something that has really become important in our market in the last few years.
Yeah.
And something that, I mean, we have a lot of clients that end up securing either buyers or sellers, depending who they are, prior to even the market.
Yeah. So how do we go about negotiating pocket listings? Because I know that's always a big thing as well. Do pocket listings negotiate?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Because that's always, I think, a follow-up with our buyers.
So if we have buyers that go to see a pocket listing, if we're able to get into it and they want to go in and they love the property, most often sellers at that point in time are not overly negotiable. They kind of feel like if they haven't spread their wings to the full marketplace, then they're probably not gonna just concede from that perspective. Now, alternatively, it could be if there's something really, really compelling about the offer, perhaps, but I would go in with the mindset that if you are seeing things before it's released to the general public,
you're probably not going to get to negotiate.
You're going to try and keep the seller as happy as possible and trying to secure that property.
Awesome.
Or the alternative is just wait for it to hit market and hope for the best, but that might not be the best strategy these days.
Yeah, I was just curious because we mentioned a lot of pros about it for both sides.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there was any negatives.
No, I think that's a great point. The negative would be is that yes, you're getting in early, but you may end up paying a little bit of a premium to wrap it up. But in a market where things get competitive, that premium,
it may actually be an advantage.
The premium may not be as big as the premium of getting into a competitive situation.
Awesome.
So
yeah, that's good.